Hello everyone. In my previous video, I explained how to calculate nth highest salary from database table in different ways. In this video, I will explain one of the SQL query which will be asked 90% in SQL interviews. The query is how to access percent-wise records from database table. Along with this, I will cover following topics in this video. The first topic is top clause, second top clause and with ties clause, third topic top clause with percent value, fourth is find first 50% records from the table, then we will see NTILE function, and the last topic is find last 50% records from table. Now I start with creation of employee table in database. As you see, I have created one employee table in database with the columns employee ID, employee name and salary. Next, I have inserted 10 rows in that. As you see, I have inserted some employees with the same salary from, for example, employee with ID 2, 6 and 9 have same salary, that is 56,300. Next, we move to first topic in list, that is top clause. The select top clause is used to specify the number of records to return. This clause can be very useful on large number of tables with thousands of records. Means when our table contains large number of records and we want to access some of the records from that table, we use select top clause. I have written some example on this, that is select top 5 star from employee order by employee ID descending. This will get top 5 records of latest employee from the table. When we want only specific information of employee, we can use the following query. Select top 5 employee ID and employee name from employee order by employee ID descending. So it will return only the information of ID and name of employees. So going to next, our topic is top clause and with ties clause. If the with ties clause is specified with top clause, then the rows tied in next place within the limited result set are written. This may result in more rows be written than the top parameter permits. Means even though we access n number of records from the table using top clause, rows matching with the last place of result also returned as output. So total result set may contain more than n records of the more than n records. It will be more clear when we see some example. Select top 2 with ties star from employee order by salary descending. In our employee table, the highest salary of employee is 64,300 and the second highest salary is 56,300. So when we use only top clause, it will return two records. But using the is with ties clause, query will return two extra rows of employees whose salary is 56,300 as per shown on the screen. You can try this yourself by using both ways, means using only top class or by using top class with width clause, and see the result. Our next topic is top clause with percent value. Percent in the top statement is used to retrieve n% of rows in the output. Means when we want retrieval of records from table according to the percent value, that is 5%, 10%, 20%, we can use percent keyword in the query. For example, to get 20% of employee records, we use this query. Select top 20%, then column names from employee, order by employee ID descending. As I have inserted 10 records in the employee table, 20% of 10 records are 2 records. That's why this query returns only 2 records of latest employees as shown on the screen. So up till now we have covered the 3 topics: top clause with width clause, and top clause with percent value. Coming to our next query of getting first 50% records from the table, we use this query. Select top 50% star from employee. The 50% of 10 is 5. So this query returns first 5 records of employee table as you see on the screen. This is one way. Now we see the second way of getting this using NTILE function and not by percent keyword. Some of the interviewers may ask the query like how to get 50% records from the table without using percent keyword. So our next slide explain the answer of this. So what is the NTILE function? This function distributes the rows in an ordered partition into a specified number of groups. The groups are started from 1. I have inserted the syntax NTILE in bracket buckets over in bracket partition by followed by partition by expression, order by followed by sort expression, followed by ascending and descending order. These conditions may repeated, or you can use multiple conditions in this NTILE function, where bucket is the number into which records are divided. This means this NTILE function divides the total records of table in different groups mentioned as per bucket number, and by accessing the required group we get our result. This group numbering starts from 1 only. If the number of records are not divisible by bucket, this function returns groups of 2 sizes with a difference by 1. The larger groups always come before the smaller group in the order specified by the order by in the over clause. So if the total records are not divisible by bucket value, then the topmost groups gets 1 records extra than the other groups according to the order by clause. Now let's see the query to find first 50% records from the table using NTILE function. What I have written in subquery, select star NTILE to over in bracket order by employee ID as group number from employee. NTILE 2, here 2 is a bucket number. So all records from the employee table gets divided into 2 groups according to employee ID. column. Group number will be 1 and 2. We name this subquery result as EMP details, and by selecting the result from EMP details whose group number is 1, we get our required result set. You may eliminate group number column by specifying column names from EMP details. Here, after executing this query, we get this result. That is first 5 records of the table. Next, we move to next to get last 50% records from the table. One way to achieve this is first write query of getting all records from the table, then write minus operator, and then write our first query of getting first 50% records from the table using percent value. By executing this at a time, it will output our required result. But this is very time consuming and execution may delay when there are a large number of records in the table. So the second way is using NTILE function. In our previous query, we divided records into two groups, and by accessing the records of group number 1, we got first 50% records. By using the same way and accessing the records of group number 2, we get the last 50% records of table. I have written the same query and accessed only the records of group number 2, and the result is shown on this screen. So, in this video, I have covered different ways of accessing percent-wise records from database table along with top clause, with ties clause, and use of percent value and NTILE function. So if you like this video, then click on the like button and give me feedback in comments. Also, if you have any doubt, then also ask me in comments. My next video will contain explanation of how to display different patterns using SQL queries. So to get the latest updates on this, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.